So this week I'm playing catch up and getting back into my summer routine after taking a step back last week. I've been catching back up with the garden and the endless abundance it's been sharing with me this time of year. I know how overwhelming this time of year can get if you're not on top of your preserving, and my counter is starting to look a little fuller than my liking, so it's time to start chipping away at the things that need to get done.
Oh wow! I was coming over because I noticed that this cantaloupe changed colors and the smell definitely smelled like a cantaloupe, so that's kind of an indication that it's ready to go. Well, the other indication that it's ready to go is that it will just immediately come off the vine once it's ready, and it was already detached. So I don't know how I didn't notice that. That's so cool. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. It smells amazing. So can you see the difference here between this one and this one? So this one here is my biggest, and this one is definitely bigger than my head. This one's a definitely good size though, so I can't complain about that. I kind of wanna cut it open. Let's cut it open. Oh wow, that is perfect. Let me scoop out these seeds so I can save them. Wow, this cantaloupe looks it looks so good. I'm so happy. So I fully enjoyed the cantaloupe, and now I'm gonna give the rest to the chickens so they can poke at it. Wow, that's huge. Wow. Thing's massive, girls. Holy crap. You guys, look how big this egg is compared to this one. They've all been relatively this size, and this one's almost double. It's so big, it's so heavy. If you're new to chickens or you don't know much about chickens,
About 3 out of my 8 girls are laying at the moment. They're all a handful of weeks off because I got them at Tractor Supply, and I could tell right off the bat they weren't all the same age. But these girls are sitting at about 14 to 16 weeks old, and they are very sporadic in laying at first. So initially I got 1 egg, then we skipped a few days, then I got a few eggs back to back, and then I got another egg. These girls just keep jumping up. I hope you can see them. I love these stairs. I love watching them go up and down the stairs. But yeah, this is an absolutely insanely big egg. It weighs quite a bit. So if there's only 1 yolk in there, I will be completely shocked. Another thing I learned now having backyard chickens is apparently double yolks at the beginning is normal. At the beginning of a hen's laying, and also at the end of when they're laying eggs. So I thought that was kind of cool too. I didn't realize that was a thing, but it makes sense, just, you know, irregularness. See, they're so cool. They're going back in there. I wonder if I might get more eggs today. Really, I haven't got eggs in the last, 2 or 3 days. I believe 3 of them are laying, and I think the other ones will be starting laying. They all keep going in there and inspecting the area, so maybe we'll get more eggs today. I need to clean out this coop today if it stops raining. We're supposed to get a lot of rain today, and it is starting to drizzle a bit. I could have let this sunflower go a little bit longer if I was going to be like harvesting these seeds myself, but all of my big sunflowers this year are going to my chickens. I decided if I was going to grow them and use all that nutrients in my, just use up all that nutrients in my soil, it'd be nice to go to good use. I guess it could have gone just a smidge longer, but again, this is going to the chickens. They're gonna be so excited. I guess I could have left the blooms on for the chickens. I just wanted to see what the seeds looked like. So the one thing to know when harvesting your sunflowers is if the back is starting to turn yellow, you want this to be pretty much yellow. You want these petals to be dying back. You can see how easily these just come off. But yeah, this could have easily gone probably like another week and it would have been perfect, but nonetheless, the chickens will really enjoy it. I did think that this would make a really good distraction while I cleaned their coop. That rain I mentioned earlier that we were supposed to get just pretty much missed us. It just went right over. So that's unfortunate, but it feels amazing outside. I think our high right now is like 77. So I want to get a lot of random cleanup done because I know we're about to get a lot of heat again. Who's going to try it? Who's going to be the first one? It's for you. You see, look. You girls have had sunflower seeds before. Look, it's sunflower seeds. You like sunflower seeds. See? I just walked back. It looks like they figured out that the middle was a little bit softer. You guys enjoying it?
So I did just Google this. Apparently, I figured if they could eat the sunflower head, they could eat the stalk as well. So they can eat the whole sunflower. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing completely chopped down, and I'm just gonna give them the rest of it as well. I like that it's an all-purpose thing. I get joy, they get joy. This one's about to bloom too. So actually, these were Mongolian giants, and last year I grew Russian mammoths. These were supposed to be taller than the Russian mammoths, and so far I still have 4 planted over here. My Russian mammoths were a lot taller. Last year I had to leave all these root systems in as well until like fall because they were so deep and they had to decompose a little bit before I could even get them out. Woo. It may not look like it, but this is probably about 2 inches thick. My Russian mammoths last year were again thicker than this as well, so I don't know. I have an idea. I wonder if I put these would be better. Last year I took a huge machete, but alright, let's see if the saw is 3 times the charm. I should have just done this probably from the start. Yeah, that was a lot easier. Note that one. Now that looks really bare. And that always, whenever I take down the first of my sunflowers, it always makes me sad because then winter's coming. You guys always ask how I keep squirrels away. The answer is I don't, but this guy just stole a tomato with blossom end rot out of the compost. I will typically put stuff in the compost or on that opposite side of the yard there, away from everything else, and they typically will stay away. Alright, so I'm doing a bunch of fall seed starting tonight. I also need to direct sow a few things tonight, and there's also a bunch of fall stuff I will be direct sowing in the upcoming weeks. Tonight though, I want to direct sow a bunch of calendula
because I only planted one plant of these, and I definitely don't have enough dried for like all of the different saps and stuff I want to do over winter. So I'm hoping that I can like find room for like 6 to 9 plants of that. I'm gonna do a bunch more carrots. I'm not gonna do a bunch more. I'm gonna do one more round. I have a second succession already going. A few more bush beans if I can find some room. And then I also need to replant my summer squash. For some reason, I've planted summer squash now twice, and I'm not having good luck with it. But as far as stuff goes for today, I'm going to be actually starting some cabbage, kale, a lot of my lettuces, and broccoli. So I don't have any crazy varieties here. I'm actually just using a bunch of random stock I've had over the last few years because I want to do a big seed haul come like fall, winter, and I want to get a lot of these used. So the things I will be direct sowing here in a few weeks, I will say I am probably like a week late on some of these, but we've had some pretty warm falls, so I'm not going to really worry about it. As far as things I will be direct sowing in the upcoming weeks, we have spinach. We also have stuff like these like little thank you packets of like mixed lettuce greens. These stay pretty tiny just because they're in a packet, but you can sow these out individually and get different heads of lettuce. But I have so many of these, I'm just going to sprinkle like 4 or 5 packs all in a garden bed and use these greens for chicken food. I have some peas I need to direct sow in about a week and a half. I think that's the earliest thing I need to do, along with my bok choy. I also have some kohlrabi, mustard greens, beets, radishes, and a lot of those things are really, really fast. Like you're talking 30 to 50 days max. So we are currently sitting, I believe, at 81 days as I'm filming this video until our first expected frost. So we do still have some time, but the one thing you want to note around this time of year is if you are planting in the fall, your daylight hours are getting shorter by the day. So if something says it takes 85 days, it's probably going to take like a week longer or so to fully mature than it says the average would be, just because it will be losing that daylight versus how it was at the beginning of the season. So you might notice that your squash plants might grow a little bit faster at the very beginning, like spring into summer, than the summer into fall. So keep that in mind, especially when you're going into the fall gardening season. Is a lot of these cabbages, kales, broccolis, I plan to put under frost cover, and I want to overwinter. But the thing with overwintering your crops is you want them to be pretty much at maturity by the time your frost hits. This has kind of been really tricky for me over the last handful of years, simply because our frost has been all over the place. The last few weeks it's been late, so that's why I'm not really too worried about getting some of these seeds late, but I have a feeling that this year will be the random year it will be early. So it really is one of those things. I've only had a handful of successful things on and off throughout the years. I've never had like a full-blown successful fall gardening season, but I do love fall gardening. And even if a lot of this stuff randomly were to bolt or go to seeds, I do now have chickens and they can eat it. So I wanted to plant a lot of cabbages and greens and stuff like that for treats for them and whatnot. So yeah, I actually have 2 of these cell trays. I don't know if I'm going to use both of them tonight, but I do want to go ahead and get some of these sown, and then I need to get some direct sowing throughout the garden. It's so nice. Today's the first day I haven't had to water in like 6 weeks. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I was like, yeah, let's bust out some seeds starting tonight.